This is a jack-o'-lantern, and I'm going to tell you how they came about. But first, Halloween. It's a crazy holiday where parents dress their children up as ghosts and zombies or anything they want and then have them beg strangers for candy and nobody says anything about it. You gotta love it. Halloween is celebrated all over the world and by many people of different cultures. And even if you don't celebrate it, you know what it's about. But not many people know where it came from or how the traditions got started. So I'm going to tell you today. Halloween was actually known as Samhain in Ireland, and it was a pagan festival long before it ever became Halloween. As Christianity spread across Europe, they tried to assimilate the pagans into the church, and one of the ways they did this was by Christianizing their holidays. Samhain got changed to Halloween, or Hallows Eve, and that's how we got Halloween. Now, I already told you that Samhain was Halloween, but Samhain was actually the beginning of the new year for the Irish, and it denoted the beginning of the dark half of the year. The Irish calendar is actually split into two. They have the dark half and the bright half. Now, Samhain was actually also the end of the harvest season, and it was believed that if you didn't harvest all of your crop by Samhain, then it was actually the fairies' crop at that point, and you couldn't touch it because fairies are really mean and will beat you up if you take their food. Now, it was also believed that Samhain was actually the time of the year when spirits and ghosts could walk on the same plane because the gap between the living and dead was very thin, and this ended up causing a bunch of them to dress up as ghosts themselves because they believed if you appeased the ghosts and spirits then they would bestow luck upon your house, and if you were to meet one of them while traveling throughout the day and you were dressed as one of them, then they wouldn't abscond with you and take you to their realm, which is not a good thing. Another common tradition in Old Ireland was the tradition called souling, or as you might know it today, trick-or-treating. Nowadays, kids dress up and go out trick-or-treating asking for candy and saying that they'll throw toilet paper on your trees if you don't give them something. But that's not how it started. Whenever people went souling, it was usually the children and the poor adults, and they would actually offer up prayers for the dead or sing carols, much like they do during Christmas, and the households would actually give them something called a soul cake. Not candy and treats as we do now, but soul cake, actual food. Sorry, my computer does not want me to give this speech. Another really common tradition is carving jack-o'-lanterns, like I showed. Nowadays, you can buy jack-o'-lanterns, you can get them in any color, any shape, size you want. But mostly, we have pumpkins. Why pumpkins? Well, they started out as turnips, and when the Irish moved from Ireland to America, they saw that pumpkins were plentiful and they are hollow inside, so carving them out and sticking lights inside is very easy. But they started out as terms because of something called an actual jack-o'-lantern. Now, Jack, who it's named after, is this guy in a legend that is a miserly smith. He's no good and very lazy. He eventually tricks the devil into helping him out, while at the same time agreeing not to take his soul when he dies. Now this seems like a really hard thing to do, but Jack eventually does it so many times that no matter how long he lives, the devil is not going to take his soul. Eventually, Jack dies, but because he was such a bad person, God doesn't let him into heaven. And when he turns to the devil to go into hell, the devil doesn't want to take him either. And now that means he's damned to walk the earth for eternity. And as a ghost or a spirit, it's really dark for him. So the devil throws him a burning coal, which Jack then takes, and he happens to have a gouged out turnip. I don't know why, but he does. And he puts the burning coal into the turnip and uses it as a lantern to guide his way. The Irish took that and started carving out turnips, meaning menacing faces, and that's how they started carving. When they came over, they changed to pumpkins, as I said. Now that you know the origins of Halloween and some of the reasons we do the traditions we do, I hope you can enjoy your Halloween and have a delightful one. Maybe try carving a turnip or two yourself. I'm sure it's not as easy as a pumpkin.